What's up, people? BENTAVISION here, and I will say that this is probably going to be one of the most honest, vulnerable videos I have ever done. And I feel like it needs to be said because I think that it may actually help some people, whether it's now or in the future. I don't know what you're going through. But at the date of recording this video, it's the 24th of August, 2026. For those of you that know me, my birthday is on the 29th of August. And let's just say I will be turning 40. Yes, 40. And do you want to know something? Me just being completely honest, I felt the need to record this video because I have never felt so much anxiety approaching a certain age before. And I don't know what it is about the age of 40, but it's quite significant. And you start reflecting on your life. You would start reflecting on many things that happened, things that never happened. And I did one of those like deep dive analyses. Is that even a word? I did a deep dive analysis of my life from when I was probably 20 years old, 20 years ago. Just looking at things that have worked, things that have not worked. And it's crazy how it's been 20 years since Power Rangers. That's madness, bro. And I even look different. Maybe I sound the same. I don't know. But anyway, I'm just going to cut straight to the chase here. I remember when I was 22 and I wrote down a goal and I said that by the age of 25, I will be at this point in my career or in my life in general. Lo and behold, that's not necessarily happened because I'm nearly 40 years old, right? And it made me just kind of analyze my life of, you know, what's been going on. And I think being a creative, there's a certain stigma about it. I'm sure all of you lot know, like when you was probably in like school or whatever, you know, they would rank academia higher than the arts. The arts was just seen as this hobby type of thing that you would do, never something to be taken seriously. And I have to admit that I've been blessed to have done certain things, acted in certain TV shows, creating my own show all about the MCKENZIES, and that even going on to TV, and being able to direct for TV as well. But there's one common thing that has kind of been a thing being this path of a creative, and that has always been the times when you're not working. Let me tell you this. So I'm sure you all know that online you will get a lot of people that promote fake lives and create fake posts. We're in the age of fakery, right? And I will definitely say that I ain't one of those people that will post random stuff. Like, I post my work and what I've done. I don't post, oh, I'm living this luxurious lifestyle. Oh, look at me, look at me, look at me. Nah, fuck that. Ain't nobody interested in that because I believe in authenticity, right? And the reason I bring up this whole posting online and fakery is because I don't know a lot of artists or people in the arts that show the dark side, that show the dip, that show the hard times, or when things aren't working, or when some things never turned out. I'm sure there are, but I'm sure most of them won't, because no one wants to appear weak. They don't want to appear weak, right? And I get it. Show everyone your life is fine. Brilliant. Well, I'm here to tell you, sometimes shit happens, right? Shit you never expected. Opportunities that just never happened. Opportunities that never came to you. You will see people younger than you flourishing faster and quicker than you, right? I know, because I've been seeing the shit right now. I've been seeing it. And going back to what I said before in terms of approaching the age of 40, you start to feel it, because you start looking at yourself and you're thinking, have I done something wrong? Did I choose a different decision? One thing about me being a multi-creative is that I never asked to be a multi-creative. Giving you a bit of context, I remember when I was 15 years old, right? I wanted to be a rapper, right? I wanted to be a rapper. You might find that funny. I didn't. So I wanted to be a rapper. And in the UK, back in the times of the 90s, the mid to late 90s, right? The music industry for a rapper wasn't like what it is today in 2026. Now everyone's a rapper, right? But if I go back then, it was a thing where I was rapping. You know, I was even speaking to Albert Samuel, who was So Solid Crew's manager at the time. I think I was 15, 16 years old, had a meeting with him. And, you know, he never took me on. You know, I was, fresh and young and whatever, inexperienced. But that never happened. I remember I had a music producer and I was recording songs. Things were great. And then my music producer died when I was about 18 or 19 years old. And back then, there wasn't really a lot of people doing what they're doing now, right? Because everyone's a producer. Everyone's a music artist. Everyone's an actor. Everyone's this. Everyone's that. We're in the age of media right now. But back then, it wasn't like that. There was no YouTube and all these fancy things. There was no Netflix. There was no social media and all them things there. Like, things was different. And then when I was 19 years old, obviously I moved into acting. And my cousin, she was an actor. I saw her on TV and I was like, yeah, I want to get on TV. I did all these school plays and stuff, and I wanted to do something like that. And, it was great. I did some drama workshops. I got signed to an agency back then. For 2 years, I was going on all these different auditions and I never really got anything. But then I landed my first TV role, which was in a drama called The Bill. For those of you in the UK, you'll know it. And that was great. And then I got another acting job after that, few months after. Another acting job, few months after that. Then I landed Power Rangers Operation Overdrive. Amazing. Brilliant. And you want to know something? This was where I thought everything is going to take off for me. Did it great. Finished the job. Came back to the UK. And I remember I didn't want to spend my money that I earned. So I went back to a normal job because I didn't want to spend my money. And guys, I felt like shit. How can you go from doing something like Power Rangers and then you're working in a call center? I know, right? It's crazy to think about that. But the reason I'm saying all of this, right, is because of the dips and the roller coaster ride of being a creative. There's times when you're not in creative work. There's so much I can say about this that I actually wrote a book about it. And it's called Why It's Not Enough to Just Be an Actor in the 21st Century. Bearing in mind, I wrote this in 2017. Link is in the description, by the way. and I document this whole journey because I'm not going to be doing a 1 hour video talking about all of this, right? So I was doing a normal job, and I think I was doing that for a year and a half. And then, you know, I went back and I had another acting job, and this was The Cut for BBC. Amazing, brilliant, loved it. And then I remember I was back in classes. I was doing faith drama. Then I joined identity drama school. I was there for a couple of terms. I was there with Femi. He took me on. They represented me for a few times. We're talking before IAG blew up with John Boyega, Damson Idris, Letitia Wright, and Melanie Liebird, Toby Bakari, Malachi Karbi. Gosh, the names go on, right? Amazing to those guys. I'll never forget as well when we were all in LA. It was me, Melanie, Toby, and Femi, and we was in a car meeting different managers and stuff like that. And anyway, that's a different story for another day. You can read it in the book. But one time, I remember I woke up and I was like, I want to create my own show. Because at that time, there wasn't a lot of black actors on TV. So I wanted to create my own show and I called it All About the MCKENZIES, which is a family comedy, right? Which people who have watched it say it's like a British Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Great. One of the greatest times of my life was doing that show. And this was coming from a guy who had no writing or directing experience, right? And I just got it done. I just got started, made a decision, got started, didn't know X, Y, and Z, and just basically got started. For 6 years, I think I was basically doing that. And, you know, the great opportunity of being on London Live in 2014 and in 2016, having the pilot on ITV2, brilliant. But here was the knocker. They did not take it on as a series. And I was shattered, bro. I was absolutely shattered. Like, I couldn't believe that something I worked on for flipping 6 years didn't even see the light of day. And there's still a lot of people that don't know about the show right now. But for those who don't, it is on my YouTube channel. So please do check it out. It will mean the world to me. I wasn't expecting to write or direct that show, right? I ended up doing it. But do you want to know something? I discovered that I could actually do it. I could actually do it. And, you know, I weren't judging it. I was proud of myself that I had achieved something great. But here's where being a multi-creative can also have the tendency to be both a blessing and a curse, right? Because now it's a thing where it's like, what path do I focus on? Am I focusing on the acting? Am I focusing on the directing? Do I just make more shows or more films? And damn, what happened to my music? I can still rap. I can still do that and all of that. And you get, I don't know, you get, I personally got confused with all of this stuff. Now, you might be thinking, why is Samuel saying all of this? You know, why is he dropping this video? Because I felt it on my heart to drop this video because I'm going through something right now, approaching the age of 40. And you start to evaluate your life. You know, I actually unfollowed everybody on Instagram. And I'll tell you why I did that. I unfollowed everyone on Instagram because I just saw too much people's lives in my face. I'm quite an old school dude, right? Where I think mystery about someone's life is more interesting than show me, show me, show me, show me. And do you want to know something? It was giving me a lot of anxiety of seeing other people's lives and other people's successes and people in certain places where you wanted to be at the age of 25 and you're 40 years old nearly. And I unfollowed everyone. I couldn't bear seeing it. It was giving me a lot of anxiety. You know, it's actually a statistic that social media has a bad effect on people's mental health, right? It's got a bad effect on people's mental health. That's why I unfollowed everyone. And you know what? If people decide to take that personally, that's on you. And you know what? I don't owe anybody an explanation of why I have unfollowed you on Instagram. Right? The average Joe I've unfollowed. I've even unfollowed celebrities that follow me. I've even unfollowed directors. I've even unfollowed casting directors, right? Some people might say, Samuel, you're mad for doing that. Why would you do that? Well, I've just told you the reason. I believe that the right opportunity or the right thing will find its way to me, and it doesn't have to come through my Instagram account. People can still DM me. They can still send me stuff. People can still email me. People can still send me a WhatsApp message, or they can call me or whatever. I started noticing with myself how things like Instagram was giving me a lot of that anxiety. And that wasn't helping with, you know, where I'm at with life right now, right? I shot for Emmerdale, did a block of episodes for Emmerdale. For those of you who don't know, it's a UK British soap. And, you know, I did my 3 short films. And by the way, if you're watching this video, please check out these shorts because it would mean a lot to me. I produced, wrote, directed these 3 short films, and one of them I star in, which is the Happy Father's Day one. And I was concerned. I was like, hold on. I entered these into film festivals, and why has no one taken my films onto their film festivals? Like, what's going on there? Like, these are good films. Like, it's not just me saying this. Other people have said it. So that then made me feel a way, like feel a bit sad about it, like flipping hell, like seriously? Like what is going on here? Either I've been cursed, or I'm cursed, or it's a timing thing, or I don't know, right? I just know that I'm absolutely bloody amazing at what I do. Like, I really do great content. I guess you could kind of call this a venting video right now. And, you know, some things, they just have to be said. But we all know that we have to move on and keep going with what we're doing. Like, just believing in ourselves and believing in our craft, getting better at our craft. But I'll tell you one thing about my YouTube channel, is that my YouTube channel is something that no one can sack me from because I'm not employed by anyone. You know, no one can scare me offline. But this is something that I know I can have 24/7 and do whatever I want, upload whatever I want at any time. And someone at some time is going to see the content, right? They're going to see the content. And I'm going to be a bit more serious with my YouTube channel now, and be uploading regularly. And, you know, whatever you guys, you know, I'm going to be doing like a lot of reaction videos and stuff. And I'd really appreciate if you sent me stuff to do some commentary on. Commentary? Is it commentary? You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so I'm going to be doing a lot more of that. But what I will say is, like, you know, at any stage of your career that you're at, you know, keep going, keep doing your thing. Yeah, there may be dips, there may be those low points. There may be times when you feel like I'm not good enough, or you know, am I a failure? You might be thinking those kinds of things, and I'm saying to you, don't dwell on those feelings, man. Don't dwell on it. You just have to keep going. You just have to keep going. And, you know, I think if you knock on the door loud enough, and I don't physically mean the door, I'm talking metaphorically or spiritually, if you keep knocking on the door, someone is, going to answer. They're going to answer, and everyone lives happily ever after. I know many creatives that have decided to quit and follow other avenues or stick with normal jobs. And guys, I've even worked in colleges. Man, teaching media, film and TV. It's the closest thing to the actual thing, right? And I do like doing it. It's great. I'd prefer to direct a show and act. And I will say, the other day, someone commented on one of my videos and they said, I wish I could see you acting again. And do you want to know, I have to be honest, it hit me hard. It did hit me, because you think I don't think that for myself? Why do you think I shot a new demo reel? I needed to show something brand new of myself, because other than my own material, I hadn't acted for anyone else since probably 2014, like 12 years ago. Can you believe that? So, and believe me, I'm brilliant at what I do, but I'm always looking to be better, Anyway, I don't want to leave too big of a video, but I hope this touches people who are still prying on, still kind of moving on with this creative field, and it's got to be done. I can't imagine myself doing much else other than being a creative and expressing myself and putting myself out there to the world, entertaining and So, yeah, I know I'm waffling on, but I will say, check out those shows, guys. You'll see a link to it on here now, all about the Mackenzies, my short films. There's like a playlist. Go through them, have a look, and, comment on them. Do let me know what you think of them. Like it if you like it, and feel free to share it amongst your peers, your friends, your family, if you find it valuable. I'm a creative out here. I'm on YouTube, looking to expand. So let's toast to that. Hey, good health, good wealth, good life. Take care. BENTAVISION. Bye. BENTAVISION!